Do you know her or something, do you?
Yes, I'm the family doctor. I've been for a number of years now. Long before Mrs. Dempster was married, in fact.
Strange people. Lovely house. Plenty of money. You'd reckon they'd have it made. But they're always at each other's throats.
Yes, well, shall we take a look at Michelle now?
Oh, yeah, she's in her room.
Hello, Michelle. I'm Dr. Kelly. Now, let's see what's wrong with you, shall we? There we go. Now then, onto your buttons. That's a good girl. There's one there. You've got two. I've got three. And there's four down there. Good heaven. What's happened to her?
Well, they reckon she tripped and fell down the stairs, poor little kid. They reckon she's a walking disaster area. But, geez, I didn't realise they were so bad.
She's done more than just fall downstairs. Some of those bruises are older than others.
Yeah. Well, they reckon she's a nice kid, but clumsy. Maxine, Michelle! Up here, Mrs. Dempster, in Michelle's room. Well, she'll be able to tell you what happened. She was here. I only started yesterday.
Well, Dr. Kelly, what are you doing here?
Well, I called him in for Michelle, Mrs. Dempster. She's real crook.
There's no need to call a doctor in, Maxine. It was just a sniffle, I told you that.
Yeah, well, I didn't know. She seemed real bad to me.
I think I should have been called in earlier.
She's quite all right, Doctor. If I called you every time she had a mishap, you'd be visiting every day.
That's not what I meant, Sally.
I'm sorry I snapped at you, Maxine. You were right to call the doctor. Now, I suppose you're wanting to get home. I'll see you in the morning.
Yeah, oh, well, I don't mind staying.
No, you go. It's lovely to see you again, Dr. Kelly. It's been such a long time.
Bit too long, I think, Sally. I saw your sister the other day. Came into the surgery with young David.
Pat's a wonderful mother. I don't know how she copes with the three of them.
Well, a happy marriage helps.
Milk?
Yes, please. Peter still travelling around as much?
Yes. Hardly a week goes by and he doesn't go interstate. Not that I mind, of course. It's all part of the job.
Yes, it puts a strain on the relationship.
Well, we manage.
I haven't seen Michelle. I haven't seen her since she was a baby. She's growing into a very beautiful young lady.
Yes.
Pity about those accidents of hers, though.
I'm sure it's just a stage she's going through.
Possibly. I gave her a thorough checking over. Doesn't seem to be anything physical to cause the clumsiness. And the antibiotics will clear up the infection within a few days.
Sure, it's just a stage.
How's your mother?
Oh, fine, fine. Still pottering around in the garden, complaining about the weather.
She wouldn't be happy unless she was complaining about something. Gave you kids a bit of a hard time, didn't she?
Not really.
Let's see now. Pat, pretty hopeless at school. Jeffrey, always covered in dirt. And you, young lady, a cheeky little brat.
Something like that.
Now, your mother and I have been great mates for a long time. Oh, I knew she was a bit of a handful for you kids. And I couldn't understand why one of you didn't turn around and give her a good smack on the nose sometime. Perhaps you started doing it now.
Damn. How's that? John Laws with indigestion?
No, I've just paid out a fortune for a set of science lecture tapes and the bloody machine's packed up.
Maybe it's the batteries.
If they are, we'll have to let the electricity board know.
Well, if you need one urgently, I got one you can borrow.
Really? I wouldn't say no.
Sure, it's in the car. Just had it repaired. I'll bring it in later.
Great, thanks a lot.
Wow. If looks could kill.
There'll be more dead prostitutes on the street.
You don't think Neil's the killer, do you?
Someone from the prison is. He stole my gloves to set me up. He's as likely a suspect as anyone.
Could have been me.
You were on duty the night the murders were committed.
I'm glad you checked. Anyway, it might not be a man. I've noticed Mrs. Davidson lately taking a few swigs from Dr. Jekyll's herbal compound.
You might think it's a joke, but I don't. In this business, the crims are always trying to set you up for something. I've learned never to trust anyone. And believe me, it's paid off.
Come in. Oh, do you want me to stay, Mrs. Davidson?
No, thank you, Mrs. Morris.
Smith, I've been talking to the chairman of the parole board. He's very pleased with your reports of good behaviour. You realise that your application for work release is being considered this afternoon?
Yeah, I know.
Well, he doesn't see any obstacles.
Oh, I'm so darn nervous. But I suppose my cooperation will go down really well, eh?
Yes, of course.
I've never had a chance to say this before, but now we're on our own. I'd just like to say that I really appreciate...
Any prisoner who's been a long-term one is entitled to work release, Smith.
Look, Mrs. Davis, you know what I'm trying to say. We've known each other for years. We've always been on opposite sides of the fence. Or always will be, for that matter. Nothing anyone can do about that. But I reckon you're about the fairest governor around. Well, there aren't many who'd set at their officers and a prisoner to catch a bent screw.
Smith, I have no idea what you are referring to, and if I were aware of any underhand dealings between my officers and a prisoner, I would act very harshly. There would be no other choice. Do I make myself clear?
Very clear.
Hello?
Is Judy Bryant there, please? It's Meg Morris from Wentworth here.
Ah, g'day, Mrs. Morris. How'd you be? It's Maxine here. Jude's out. Everybody's out.
Do you know when she'll be back?
No, haven't got a clue. I just got in from work myself.
Oh, yes, I heard you'd got a job. What's it like?
Bloody hoot. Fancy me babysitting a bloody ankle biter. But she's a nice kid, Buck.
What's the rest of the family like?
Well, the old man's never there. He flies off all over the place. Mother's all right, I suppose.
You don't sound too sure.
Well, I'm not definite, but I reckon something's a bit off.
What?
Well, I can't prove nothing, but that little kid's got bruises all over her body, and I don't reckon she got 'em falling down the stairs like her ma said.
Maxine, I've been in a similar situation before. And believe me, you have to tread very carefully.
Yeah, don't I know it?
Child bashing is very hard to prove. But if that little girl's in danger, you'll have to report it.
Yeah, but how am I going to get the proof?
Oh, well, that's terrific. I'm really grateful.
And keep it as long as you like. I only use it when I'm working on the boat and I've got a transistor I can use.
Thanks. Come in.
Ah, Neil. A message has just come through to reception. Dr. Williams is running late. He'll be here in about half an hour.
Oh, thanks. Oh, there's nothing urgent.
Who's the patient?
I'd like him to check Chrissy Latham. I think she might have a gynecological problem.
Oh, dear. It's a pity the department won't give us a resident gynecologist. I mean, you'd think it'd be essential in a women's prison. With the amount of prostitutes we get in here, they always seem to be having trouble.
Yes, well, that's not really surprising. Still, you can hardly paint Chrissy with the same brush.
Oh, you're kidding. She's got a master's degree in prostitution.
She's in for fiddling doll chicks, isn't she?
Oh, that's just her latest. I mean, she's been in for soliciting, well, a couple of times.
Oh, she never told me that.
You want to watch her, mate. She put the hard word on me once.
Joking.
Nah, and when I knocked her back, she went straight to the governor crying rape. I'd watch her very carefully. She can't be trusted.
Unfortunately, he's right. Oh, I mean, Chrissy's changed a lot since she had a daughter. And she still thinks nothing of using a man for what she can get out of him.
Yes, I see what you mean, Mr. Murray. It does point to an ovarian cyst. But there are other possibilities which we must consider.
Yes, I thought she ought to be sent to the local hospital for the standard tests.
Yes, well, we're very limited in what we can do here. And I would like a biopsy